Hi everyone, I am Prisha, a grade 11 student here at Good Shepherd and also your host for today. As college applications come closer, the pressure all of us feel is immense, and trying to balance academic life and co-curricular life is never easy. And the standardized tests. At some point or the other, all of us are going to have to write a standardized test, whether it be the PSAT, the SATs, or the APs. And trust me when I say, I know they can be intimidating. But should they really be that scary? Today, we have with us Miss Mehak Verma, who is the outreach and lead for K-12 schools in India for the College Board. She has over 10 years of experience in the education space, and today she talks to us and breaks down some of the most common believed misconceptions about the SAT suite of assessments. So, Miss Verma, my first question for you is, could you please let me and the audience know what is the SAT suite of assessment?
Hi, Prisha. Thank you for having me here. So, like I explained yesterday, I would like to reiterate that the SAT suite of assessments is an integrated system of tests that comprises PSAT 8-9, PSAT 10, and PSAT NMS-QT. Now, these tests measure what the students are learning in class and what they need to do to succeed in college and beyond. All these tests measure the same knowledge and skills but for different grade levels, that is from grades 8 to 12. The SAT suite of assessments use a common score scale. And this is because so that your educators, get consistent feedback that will help monitor growth across grades, and it will also help identifying the areas of improvement. So our research, clearly tells us that getting ready for a college and career readiness, it's not a point in time. In fact, it is a process that requires you to focus on skills right from grade 8 onwards that keep you on track for college success and readiness. And that is why we offer a suite of assessments that are tied to each other, not only through a common content, but also through a common scale that measures student growth over the years. First test in the SAT suite of assessments is the PSAT 8-9. The PSAT 8-9 serves as the foundation for understanding the students' progress as they enter the high school. We recommend the 8th and the 9th graders to take the PSAT 8-9. The PSAT 8-9 tests the same skills and knowledge as the PSAT 10 and SAT, but in a way that's appropriate for the 8th and the 9th graders. And next in the SAT suite of assessments is PSAT NMS-QT and PSAT 10. So that provides a check-in on students' progress and pinpoints the areas for improving readiness. The PSAT 10 is offered in spring to grade 10 students, whereas PSAT NMS-QT is a standardized test that 11th graders and some 10th graders take in October. And I would usually, recommend the US citizens should take PSAT NMS-QT in grade 11 to qualify for the National Merit Scholarship qualifying test. And there are several scholarships that use PSAT NMS-QT scores to find eligible juniors. So, be it PSAT 8-9, PSAT 10, PSAT NMS-QT, all these tests are tightly aligned to the SAT, and they serve as an excellent ways for you to preview and practice for the SAT. And finally, millions of students write the SAT across the globe, including in India, and use the SAT to demonstrate their readiness to pursue college education.
Thank you so much for that explanation. Now, all of us would just love to know, what are the different benefits of the SAT suite of assessments?
So, like I said, the SAT suite of assessments is an integrated system of tests, which includes PSAT 8-9, PSAT 10, PSAT NMS-QT, and SAT. Now, for the SAT suite of assessments, Prisha, content is designed by research. Each test, like I said, each test measures the same knowledge and skills that are most necessary for college and career success for different grade levels, that is from grades 8 to 12. All these tests, PSAT 8-9, PSAT NMS-QT, and 10, are grade-appropriate tests that help both the students and the schools to check the baseline readiness of for SAT, and the PSAT offers students an excellent and cost-effective way to practice for SAT and other similar standardized tests. Also, the students will get the detailed score reports that will help them and the educators gain a deep understanding of their strengths and weaknesses so that they are better prepared for such standardized tests. And even if they don't plan to take the SAT, the PSAT offers meaningful insights into the students' skills and help them prepare for other similar standardized competitive exams in India and abroad. And also, educators, specifically your school educator, will receive highly detailed and meaningful data and reports on how their students performed in the PSAT at the individual, student, grade, and school level, which can help drive instruction and focus on skills that most need attention. Then I would also like to talk about the how PSAT scores link students to the AP Potential tool. Now, AP Potential tool identifies those students that are likely to succeed in the advanced placement exams. What are advanced placement exams? Advanced placement exams give the opportunity to students to study college level coursework while they are still in high school. So, the AP Potential tool uses the scores from SAT and PSAT related assessments to provide predictions for AP exams, to identify if the 8th and the 9th graders have the potential to succeed in AP exams. So, once again, all these tests, the SAT suite of assessments, they are essentially grade-appropriate versions of the SAT, which allows students to learn at an early age where do they stand on the skills on which the SAT or the standardized tests will eventually test them on.
Focusing on PSAT 8 and 9, whom do you think should write it, when, where, and why?
Thank you, Prisha. So the PSAT 8-9 is the entry point for the SAT suite of assessments, and it is intended for the 8th and the 9th graders. The PSAT 8-9 establishes a baseline of college and career readiness as the student enter the high school. So it lets the student know whether they are on track to meet the SAT and career readiness benchmarks, and it measures what the students are learning in school and pinpoints the areas of improvement. And to your question, how do students sign up for PSAT 8-9? The student will sign up at school and not through College Board. Registration is done at school. The student should speak to their school counselor, the PSAT coordinator, in order to learn about this year's the registration process. And there are 2 calendar periods for the PSAT 8-9 administration, one in fall and another in spring. So basically, the PSAT 8-9 has a very flexible testing window. Your school or the PSAT coordinator can choose to administer the tests between October 2nd to October 31, and another slot is available between March to April. So once again, the students should get in touch with the PSAT coordinator to know about the registration process and the dates when the school will administer the PSAT 8-9.
So, Miss Mehak, now that the PSAT is digital, could you please tell us about some of its features?
Sure. So, like I mentioned, the SAT suite of assessments is a set of assessments that include the PSAT 8-9, PSAT 10, PSAT NMSQT, and the SAT. The digital PSAT NMSQT and PSAT 8-9 has both reading and writing and math sections to measure the knowledge and skills students are learning in school and that matter most for college and career success. By having students take these assessments, educators can track students' progress over time and see where they need to improve to be best prepared for college, career, or whatever they are interested in pursuing after high school. These assessments stay on the same score scales, and scores will mean the same thing. So a score of 1050 on the digital PSAT NMSQT corresponds to a score of 1050 on the paper and pencil PSAT NMSQT. And students continue to have the free world-class practice resources available with Khan Academy so that they can feel comfortable and confident on the test day. So the opportunity to connect students directly to scholarships and College Board national recognition programs continue to exist, and we continue to support all students, including those who need accommodations. Also, the new digital format meets students where they are, The digital tests can be taken on a laptop, tablet, desktop, iPad, or a school-managed device. The digital tests are shorter, about 2 hours instead of 3, with more time per question. In addition, the reading passages will be shorter with one question tied to each, and passages will reflect a wider range of topics that represent the work students read in college.
Now, moving on to the PSAT reading and writing section, what all is included in that?
Alright, so the PSAT and MSQT includes the reading and writing section and a math section. And as far as the reading and writing section is concerned, the reading and writing section includes 54 questions, evenly divided between 2 modules. So students have 32 minutes to answer the questions in each module. So that is 1 minute and 11 seconds per question. And to help them budget their time, questions that test similar skills and knowledge are grouped together and arranged from easiest to hardest. So the reading and writing section of the digital PSAT and MSQT is designed to measure the student's success with building critical college and career readiness and literacy. In this section, students answer multiple choice questions that require them to read, comprehend, use information and ideas in text, analyze the craft and structure of texts, revise text to improve the expression of ideas, and edit text to follow core conventions of standard English. And as far as the passages are concerned, in this section, passages serve as the basis for answering test questions. They represent the subject areas of literature, history, social studies, the humanities, and the science. And there is a single question per passage. And students will select the questions in this section are accompanied by an information graphic. So basically, the question in the reading and writing section fall into 4 broad categories. That is the craft and structure, information and ideas, standard English conventions, expression of ideas. And then we also have the PSAT and MSQT vocabulary. So the PSAT and MSQT does not require students to learn unusual or difficult vocabulary words. The words students will be asked about come up often in college level reading and in professional life. Also, the PSAT and MSQT doesn't ask you to define a word without any context to guide them. All of the words students will be asked about appear in the context of the reading passage so that they can use the context clues to guide them to the best answer.
So, Miss Mehak, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And what about the PSAT math section? How is that structured?
Okay. The math section includes 44 questions, evenly divided between 2 modules. Students have 35 minutes to answer the questions in each module. That is 1 minute and 35 seconds per question. And across each module, questions are arranged from easiest to hardest, allowing students to have the best opportunity to demonstrate what they know and can do. Also, an acceptable calculator can be used on the entire math section of the test. So the math section focuses on key elements of algebra, advanced math, problem solving, and data analysis, and geometry and trigonometry. So over the course of the math section, students answer multiple choice and student-produced response questions that measure their fluency with understanding of and ability to apply the maths concepts, skills, and practices that are most essential. So once again, calculators are important tools, and to succeed after high school, they'll need to know how and when to use them.
Thank you so much, Miss Mehak. I feel like with that, we covered a lot about the structure and the format of the exam. But the real question is, how can we, the students, prepare and practice for the PSATs?
So, Prisha, the same habits that lead to success in school will help students prepare for the PSAT 8-9. So, PSAT 8-9 measures what students are already learning in school. So, they don't need to do anything special to get ready. In general, they have to follow the same habits and choices that help them succeed in school. For example, they should do their homework, prepare for tests and quizzes. Regular schoolwork builds the skills they need for the test. They should ask and answer a lot of questions, and they should take the charge of their education and learn as much as they can. So the more invested they are in their education, the faster they'll learn. As far as the resources for PSAT are concerned, the PSAT 8-9 student guide, information about the PSAT, including the test-taking advice, sample test materials, all are available on the College Board's website, absolutely free of cost. And I'll share all those links with you shortly.
Thank you so much for that.
Now, moving on to PSAT 10 and PSAT NMSQT. So the key to successful preparation includes making a plan to get the most out of your study time, setting realistic goals, targeting the areas where students have room for improvement and practicing. And the easiest way to do all this is our free official SAT practice on Khan Academy. And I would want the students to create their account with Khan Academy, which is absolutely free of cost. So official SAT practice on Khan Academy is a good practice for the PSAT and MSQT. It is free, comprehensive, and available to all students. I would recommend that students should go to the Khan Academy page and they should practice for PSAT for free. They can also download free practice tests from our website. So these practice tests are available free both online and on paper on our website. So a quick glance as far as the PSAT related assessments are concerned. The PSAT offers students an excellent, cost-effective way to practice for the SAT. These tests assess the same skills as the SAT but in a grade appropriate way. The detailed score reports help students and educators gain a deep understanding of the students' strengths and weaknesses so that they are better prepared for the SAT. And even if they don't plan to take the SAT, the PSAT offers meaningful insights into a student's skills and help them prepare for other similar standardized competitive exams for India and abroad. Students can send their PSAT score reports, into a free Khan Academy SAT practice account, and they can get the free customized recommendations as to how they can prepare for the SAT based on their section-wise, question-wise, performance on the PSAT. Also, the educators receive highly detailed and meaningful data and reports on how their students performed in the PSAT at the individual, a grade and school level, which can help drive instruction and focus on skills that most need attention. Thank you.
So, thank you so much for having this session with us. But before we end, I have a super important question to ask you. All of us students need to know. Can someone continue with the exam if they face any internet issues or if the battery of the laptop dies?
Yeah, of course. If the internet connection drops during testing, students will still be able to progress through the test with no disruption. So if the computer battery runs down, they can simply plug in, restart their device and pick up where they left off. All their work will be saved and they won't lose testing time. So I have an important announcement to make that students are responsible for bringing their device fully charged on the test day, as there may be limited access to power outlets in the testing room. Thank you.
Miss Mehak, that was truly a relief to know. As we come to the end of this session, I just wanted you to know it was lovely having this conversation with you. And I'm sure that thousands of student communities all around the world will truly find this to be helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. And stay tuned, everyone. We will soon have a podcast on AP and SAT. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.